Who is thought to have first brought this dog-like animal to Australia? English prisoners, Asian sailors, African tribespeople, crocodile hunters. The dingo is thought to have been brought to Australia by Asian sailors about 4,000 years ago. What is the three-letter word for this animal's mating season? It's called a rut, and for these bull elk, it typically lasts between 4 and 6 weeks. Did you get it or not? Which of these is not a name for this animal? Red deer, elk, wapiti, waterbuck. All of the names, except waterbuck, describe the same animal. These animals are built to withstand strong blows to the head. Which of these do they not have? Ultra-strong neck tendons, double-layered skulls, ears that can absorb shock, strong curved horns. Bighorn rams have all of the above, except ears that can absorb shock. It's a wonder those guys don't have permanent headaches. This snake preys on mice and rats, only frogs, rabbits and squirrels, lizards and other snakes. The coral snake feeds mainly on small snakes and lizards. This is the ultra-venomous coral snake. Which of these non-venomous snakes looks just like it? Garter snake, taipan, copperhead, milk snake. If you find a snake and you're not sure whether it's a coral snake or the similar-looking milk snake, you're better off not sticking around to find out. I'd call that a rule to live by. What are camels with one hump called? Camels with one hump are called dromedary camels. Bactrian camels have two humps. Remember, we're on the honor system here. Right or wrong? An easy way to remember this is that the letter B has two humps, like the Bactrian camel, and the letter D has one hump, like the dromedary. The male of this animal is venomous. Where are its stinging spurs located? The male platypus has a venomous spur on each hind foot. How did you do? A platypus's poison isn't strong enough to kill a human, but a sting would hurt very badly. What color are these birds' eggs? Red, orange, green, white, beige. Emu eggs are dark green. These wading birds can only live in very fresh water. Is this for real? This is not for real. The flamingo thrives in saltwater environments. This animal always leaves its burrow backside first. Is this for real? This is not for real. Aardvarks usually leave their burrows with their awesome-looking heads leading the way. What creature is the favorite meal of these bears? Polar bears regularly hunt seals, often snatching one by its head when it comes up from the water for air. Did you get it or not? A polar bear is more likely to share its meal with another polar bear if it shows proper manners when asking. This animal is not native to which of these places? The United States, Canada, Peru, Mexico. You're unlikely to find the bobcat as far south as Peru, unless you're in a zoo, of course. Which of these is a scientific name for the animal shown here? Felis attacus, Felis rufus, Felis sylvestris, Felis purius. The bobcat's scientific name is Felis rufus. Come on, you didn't think it was Felis purus, did you? What part of this animal changes color according to its mood? Casque, wattle, wings, feet. The cassowary has a natural mood ring, a mood necklace actually. The wattle hanging from the bird's neck changes color. On how many continents would you find these birds? The peregrine falcon can be found on every continent except Antarctica.
Remember, we're on the honor system here, right or wrong.
Which of these is closest to this animal's natural habitat? The American Great Plains, the Sahara, the Australian outback, Western Japan. Fennec foxes are found in the deserts of northern Africa, including the Sahara and in the Middle East. Which of these is the smallest? Gray wolf, fennec fox, Tasmanian devil, American beaver. The fennec fox is the smallest. Where does this animal live? Northern and Central Africa, Australia and New Zealand, Southeast Asia, Central and South America. You'd find the poison dart frog in Central and South America, but make sure not to touch it with your bare hands. A little bit of toxin from some species in a small cut on your hand could spell doom. What is one of these animals called? Yak, ibex, serval, springbok. These big-horned animals are called ibexes. The ibex is represented in Paleolithic art and is even mentioned in the Bible. Where does the ibex live? In the ocean, in the mountains, in the Arctic, in the desert. The ibex, a kind of wild mountain goat, lives in the mountains. This kingfisher is smaller than other kingfishers. Is this for real? This is not for real. This is the giant kingfisher, one of the largest of them all. Name this bird's laughing Australian relative. The kookaburra is a type of kingfisher. It has a harsh call that sounds like crazy laughter.
Remember, we're on the honor system here, right or wrong.
This finch is relieving the tortoise by cleaning its skin. The animals receive mutual benefits from each other. What is this type of relationship called? The Galapagos tortoise and the finch have a symbiotic relationship, since the tortoise is getting much-needed relief from pesky bugs, while the finch is getting a free meal.
Did you get it or not?
Young alligators are preyed upon by raccoons, other small animals, and larger alligators. But an adult alligator faces one main threat. What is it? Environmental damage is the adult alligator's greatest threat. Once considered endangered, some species have made a comeback due to conservation efforts.
Remember, we're on the honor system here. Right or wrong?
The 9-banded armadillo always has 9 bands of armor on its back. Is this for real? This is not for real. Despite their name, 9-banded armadillos sometimes only have 8 bands. Adult lions typically weigh between about 265 and 420 pounds. About how much do they weigh at birth? 1 pound, 3 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. Lion cubs weigh only about 3 pounds when they're born and can't open their eyes for a couple of days. To prepare for winter, a grizzly must eat a lot during the summer and early fall. What's a typical calorie intake per day for a grizzly during these months? 2,000, 20,000, 80,000, 100,000. To prepare for winter, a grizzly bear typically eats about 20,000 calories a day. That's a lot of berries and about 10 times more than an average adult human eats. To prepare for the winter, grizzly bears will feed up to 20 hours per day during the late summer and fall. This animal has been called the blank of the forest because of its eating habits. Picky eater, glutton, vacuum cleaner, bottom feeder. Since they mostly eat animals that have already died, the Tasmanian devil has been called the vacuum cleaner of the forest. This animal protects its front claws from wear by walking along on the sides of its paws. Is this for real? This is for real. The giant anteater needs its claws for ripping open ant and termite nests, so it doesn't want them to get too much daily wear and tear. A salamander can grow back its limbs and some organs when it's been injured. What Greek monsters' heads grew back and multiplied as Hercules chopped them off? The Greek monster was Hydra. Salamanders, of course, cannot grow back their heads.
Remember, we're on the honor system here. Right or wrong?
These animals are native to what large South American country? Because of urban growth and deforestation, less than 2% of the golden lion tamarin's natural habitat in Brazil remains.
Did you get it or not?
There are some frogs that grow smaller rather than larger as they age. As a tadpole, they can be more than 3 times longer than the frog they turn into. Is this for real? This is for real. The appropriately named paradoxical frog probably doesn't have to worry about the middle age spread. This animal has poor night vision and only hunts during the day. Is this for real? This is not for real. Jaguars' eyes are adapted for night hunting. They actually see less detail and color in daylight. Salmon return to the stream where they were hatched to spawn before dying. What is the term for these instincts? All salmon have homing instincts, which compel them to make a journey that is often hundreds of miles upstream so they can reproduce before dying. How did you do? Right or wrong? These animals can change their color. What special pigment cells enable this? Chromatophores, cytochromes, antichromes, cytophores. Squid may change color to deter a predator thanks to their chromatophores. This animal grooms its coat because it likes to look pretty. Is this for real? This is not for real. The beaver does groom its coat, but not just for appearance. The beaver needs to make sure its coat stays mud-free and well-oiled. Otherwise, it can become waterlogged. Where is the scent gland located on a mature male koala's body? Bottom of its feet, tip of its nose, behind its ears, center of its chest. It's in the center of their chests. Males rub their scent gland on trees and branches to mark their territory. This animal is the reptile emblem of what large country? The frilled lizard lives in northern Australia and parts of New Guinea.
Honest now, did you get it right or wrong?